Kia ora and welcome to this episode of The Amateur Austenite. I am Frances Duncan, author, Austenite life coach. With me is Rachel Pilwer, book buyer, Austenite, and all-round nerd.
Hi!
Today we're discussing chapter 44 of Emma. It's not quite as bad as the last chapter. It's the day after Box Hill. Emma's trying to be a good person. She goes to see Miss Bates, although she never actually apologizes. She tries to show by her actions, I'm sorry, I do value you. And while she's there, she learns that Jane has taken the role with Mrs. Smallridge and is going to be a governess. Then when she gets home, Mr. Knightley's there and is like, yeah, I'm going to London. I hate it here.
Everybody leaves and it's all your fault.
Yeah, it's starting to feel that way. Emma refers to the Box Hill thing as wretched, and she doesn't know how everybody else thought about it. Only Mr. Weston could have thought it went well, because even Harriet was quiet in the carriage. No one was having a good time. It was, Emma thinks, bare of rational satisfaction at the time and could only be a bored in recollection. Spending time with her dad playing backgammon, something she normally dreads, was felicity in comparison.
I really enjoy playing backgammon with my mum. It's nice. Emma, why are you so upset about it?
I think it shows you that it's actually a trial for her to look after her dad, but she does it and she never complains because he's her dad. She's specifically like, no one could say that I don't love my dad. I love my dad.
She does love her dad. Very few children would be so devoted to their parents.
Yeah, ship them off to a home.
Not that that was a thing back then.
But she's very aware that she hasn't always been good to Miss Bates, which is what's in the background of this. She was scornful and ungracious, but she's not going to do it anymore. She's very contrite. She's going to go visit. She's penitent and realizing that in the past, the only pleasure she got from these visits was that she could ridicule them after.
I don't read it quite the same way now as I used to. The first few times I read Emma, she doesn't mean this apology. It just felt so ungenuine to me. She's not really apologizing for her behavior. She's just apologizing because she wants to feel better about herself. That's how I feel I always used to read this when I was a teenager, because she'd always made fun of Miss Bates. Why is now any different just because you've now been caught out saying it in front of her face? As I've aged, I kind of now I'm a bit more you must feel awful about that. I think I just understand her now that I've got more experience putting my own foot in my mouth and saying things that I'm like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. That came out because my filter just didn't stop. And I'm so sorry. I really didn't mean to say that.
That's what makes the last chapter so painful. Not only that Miss Bates is hurt, but Emma is really beating herself up about it as well.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be one of those things that I think for years that Emma is going to be, as she's trying to fall asleep, her brain will just be like, hey, you remember that time you said that to Miss Bates at Box Hill? I can immediately picture multiple things that I think about that I'm like, ugh. Certain things that I'm like, oh my God, you'll see something and it'll just remind me of some dumb shit I said. And I'm just I just cringe so hard internally that I'm like, this was 10 years ago. Why am I still just so ugh? I feel so awkward about myself. No one who was there talks to me. We don't talk anymore. It was dumb high school shit, but it just sticks with you. And I feel like this is going to be one of those moments for Emma where she's going to be 50 and she'll be falling asleep and she'll just think, oh my God, I can't believe I said that when I was still in my 20s.
I mean, Miss Bates might be dead by then and Emma will still be beating herself up about it.
Someone's going to bring it up at the funeral. Emma, you remember that time you were really mean to her?
But in this chapter, she also realises that she's been unjust to Jane. She wants to be nice to both of them. When she turns up, they're both running into the next room and she's like, oh no, Miss Bates is hiding from me. But she does come out and she asks about Jane because she could see that Jane's really sick. Miss Bates launches into, you've come to give us joy. She's been writing really long letters all morning. She's got such a dreadful headache and she's been crying. But it's wonderful. She's got a job. But we know what's actually going on.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that she's crying is one of those letters is breaking things off with Frank.
Her heart's broken. Her man was real mean at yesterday's gathering. He was pretty rude. And sometimes I'm like, Jane, I think you can do better. Jane, you can do better than Frank. Frank can't do better.
But now she's made her decision. She's written her letters. She says it's all going to be well. Yeah, being in that sense of limbo was probably terrible. It probably is going to be a bit better now that she knows what she's doing. She's not waiting for some guy
who keeps her a secret, who can not be open and public about the relationship, who can't marry her until his aunt dies.
It's real shitty. Because it's Emma, Jane hides. She might have stayed if it was Mrs. Elton or Mrs. Cole. But when Emma's trying to visit her and do good things because she does want to support her, Jane will not see anyone, except obviously Mrs. Elton, Mrs. Cole, Mrs. Perry. She will see her old friends. She will not see Emma.
Because Emma hasn't been nice to her. Emma's not been her friend. And I wouldn't want a person who I don't really like, well, not like, but don't know very well, to see me in such a heartbroken state.
And she was flirting hard out with Frank just the day before.
Of course, yeah.
I'm flirting with your boyfriend. But Emma doesn't know.
Yeah.
She kind of gets it. She's like, yeah, I've been a bitch. I get why she doesn't want to be friends with me. I do want to do nice things for her. What can I do?
But Jane also knows that the Westons have been trying to push Emma and Frank together as well.
Yeah.
Probably already felt awkward about Emma before yesterday. I know Frank loves me. I know he's said I can't control what other people want in terms of his relationship, but I know he's loyal. And then yesterday it's like, actually, I don't know if he's loyal anymore. He's actually was flirting really hard with her while we were having a fight. And it's like, if that's how your man really reacts, when you're having an argument, he goes and starts flirting with the next woman, the fuck? Get out.
Look, I've got other options.
Girl, you should have gone to Ireland.
Yeah.
It would have been better. You should have gone with your best friend. You could have found a nice Irishman.
Mr. Dixon would be like, I got a friend for you. You don't need to get married. Just live with us here. We love you. Stay with us.
Stay with us.
So this is the job that while they were at Donwell, Mrs. Elton was telling her about. And she's now gone back and said yes. Mrs. Elton refused Jane's no. She said she'd wait. Which Miss Bates is like, she's got such foreknowledge. Isn't she wonderful? You could think is just really pushy and shitty thing for her to do. While they're on Box Hill, Mrs. Elton declares that everyone should come to her house, and by everyone it means the people that are gathered around her, so Miss Bates, Jane, and Mr. Knightley. Mr. Knightley doesn't go, which Emma is worried that he has. He recognises that it would be rude to have then another party of the little people that was there, even though Miss Bates assumed that he'd turn up because Mrs. Elton declared she would not let him off.
You can't tell him what to do. You're not Mrs. Knightley.
Basically, because she's so pushy, she just assumed Mr. Knightley would come. So Miss Bates assumed that he would come as well.
He's already told you that the only person who can do things with him is Mrs. Knightley. Don't tell him what to do, lady.
Emma says, I suppose she's been making up her mind the whole day and you didn't know. Like, yeah. That's so not what happened. While she was there, the ostler turns up to talk to Mr. Elton. John Ostler, they call him, who works at the Crown Inn. The chaise had been sent to Randall's to take Frank back to Richmond. After that, Jane talks to Mrs. Elton. Frank Swinneray, it's actually over. I'm going to take this job. I need to know what I'm doing. Sealing my fate.
She needs to take care of herself. She can't guarantee that Frank will do it. That Frank will ever actually marry her and look after her.
So heartbreaking. Like, I literally want to cry talking about this.
I see your eyes welling up. Here's a tissue. Everyone's kind of leaving. It's like this one party was so bad and multiple people have skipped town.
Miss Bates says everyone was fagged after the morning party. Even pleasure can be fatiguing. I can't say that they seem to have enjoyed it. Even Miss Bates can see what's going on. I'm extremely obliged to the kind friends who included me. I know I'm in pain, but it was nice that you let me come.
That's a really sweet sentiment.
Emma never actually apologises to Miss Bates. Her turning up and asking about Jane is her equivalent of an apology.
Shoddy.
You should literally apologise.
Yeah.
She does say, I think that the salary should be 5 times whatever she's being paid. If they're anything like me as a kid, I was horrific.
Mm-hmm.
Probably true. But because presumably these people are nouveau riche like Mrs. Elton, it's possible Jane will be treated differently because they don't know how governesses were supposed to be treated. She might get paid more because they don't know what governesses were supposed to be paid.
And because they wouldn't know, like, she can probably fight a bit more to get a better salary as well if she wanted to, which isn't really in Jane's character. I think she would probably say something if they were underpaying her, but probably wouldn't be like, hey, pay me more, please.
But you hear Mrs. Elton's description of the people and the place in Miss Bates' words. Except the Sucklings and the Braggs, there is not such another nursery establishment so liberal and elegant.
In all Mrs. Elton's equations, which probably means that there is so much more liberal and elegant places. You just don't know them.
It's the next chapter we find out that Mrs. Churchill's actually died.
Mm.
Mrs. Churchill apparently wasn't that sick, but Frank goes anyway. Emma's really interested in this because she's struck by the difference, the contrast between Mrs. Churchill's importance in the world and Jane Fairfax, the difference of a woman's destiny. This is really central point to the novel and to how Austen talks about things. Mrs. Churchill, remember, was barely the daughter of a gentleman before she married Mr. Churchill, but obviously was so concerned about her own standing, she then became very Churchill-y and gatekeeping everybody else, to the extent that Jane would not be welcomed, even though Jane probably had a better standing than the original Mrs. Churchill.
Mrs. Churchill, yeah.
In the next chapter, Mrs. Churchill's going to die, and that means that Jane will get to take her place. She will marry Frank. Emma, unaware of all of this, is drawing contrast between Mrs. Churchill and Jane Fairfax.
Emma thinks of Mrs. Churchill's importance to the world and the difference of Jane, but doesn't really muse much on her own importance or her own status, especially in Highbury.
Emma's already got the importance, but for Jane and Mrs. Churchill, it's the marrying that gives them that importance. Who you choose to marry if you're not born a certain way has a big influence on your destiny. And at this point, because Jane is not going to be married and is going to be a governess, that is her destiny. Emma leaves. She does actually want good things for the Bates and for Jane. She gives them good wishes, which she really felt. She's grown a lot. It took a while.
Took a while and some missteps, but
she got there.
She's growing.
And that's our discussion of chapter 44 of Emma by Jane Austen. I've been Frances Duncan. This has been Rachel Purwell.
Bye.
Thank you for listening, and we wish you happy reading.
Jane Austen.
Thank you.